Welcome to the Jeff Goldblum tag. I'm Emma, a connoisseur of all things Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum is the love of my literary, spiritual, media, film life. I adore Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum was my first celebrity crush at the age of 6 when I watched Independence Day for the first time. I love him a whole lot. So I've decided to dedicate a tag about him, because if we can have the J-Law tag, we should also have the J. Bloom tag. That's his nickname, J. Bloom, Jeff Goldblum. Okay, so we're going to start off with his first big movie, The Fly. Spoiler alert, I've not seen The Fly all the way through because it scares the living bejesus out of me, but it's an important part of Mr. Goldblum's cinematic history. And I adore him, so I will give all of his films the proper place in this tag. So The Fly. I want you to pick a book where something goes from being beautiful and perfect like Jeff Goldblum into a nasty creature. Something that is gross and terrible. This is a very flexible question. This can mean a cover that, the original cover was really, really pretty and then they turned it into this ugly piece of crap. Or you can pick a character who started off as a beautiful princess in your eye and then became a hideous monster. Or you can pick a series that started off great and ended up being terrible. It's whatever, to transformation into something beautiful into something gross. So for this I chose a character that started off with a lot of okay qualities and became a nasty monster. I chose 50 Shades of Grey, Mr. Grey. Full disclosure, I've never read this book, I never will read it, I don't really want to see the movie. But there was probably about a page where Mr. Grey seemed like a good guy, and then immediately after that first page, you figured out that he was a domestic violence abuser full of crap. You can choose other examples, but I don't know if you're going to beat that one. Jurassic Park. JP, as I like to call it. J. Bloom and JP. I want you to pick a book about a fun time gone bad. Because we all know Jurassic Park seems like a great idea until you think about it for more than 20 seconds, and then you're like, this is a stupid idea, and everything goes horribly. So, I chose The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Because yeah, you're sitting there, you're having a party. Leo DiCaprio's there. You're drinking champagne, dancing to Jay-Z in your flapper dresses, having a grand old Baz Luhrmann-y time. And then someone dies in a pool. Next. Nine Months. One of the best movies ever. I did that little head nod because I was getting excited. 9 months. Yes. Mr. Jeffrey Goldblum is not the main character. Stupid Hugh Grant is. But he's a minor character who steals the show. So I want you to pick a minor or secondary character who steals the show in a book. If you haven't seen 9 Months, go see 9 Months. It's a great movie. So I chose Scott Pilgrim. But not Scott Pilgrim, obviously, because he sucks. Wallace from Scott Pilgrim. Precious Little Lies and the whole Scott Pilgrim series. Wallace is the best part of this entire series. I wish this could just be a book about Wallace. He's amazing. He steals the show in the movie. He steals the show in the book. He's perfect. I want to be his best friend. Next. Independence Day. The best movie ever made. I want you to pick a hot, smart person in a book. A hot, smart character or a hot, smart author. Either one. Somebody in the literary world, both fictional and non-fictional, who's hot and smart. So I choose Mark Watney from The Martian because he's the ultimate hot, smart guy. He flipping gross potatoes on Mars. Like what? Next I want you to pick a book involving Jeff Goldblum's various death rumors because according to the internet, Mr. Jeff Goldblum has died at least 15 times. And every one of those times, my heart has stopped a little bit. So I want you to pick a book that you thought was dead, or the publishers thought was dead. A book that didn't have a lot going for it, maybe it wasn't very popular at first and then made a big comeback and people were like, this book is amazing, or a character you thought was dead and that character came back. Just something that started off just like flatlining it and then just like was still alive. So I chose a book that I bet the publishers thought wasn't going to sell more than 1,000 copies. That's Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. And then Eleanor and Park came out, and this book was like, bam, super popular, thanks to John Green and thanks to Rainbow Rowell, obviously. But yeah, Attachments. Because this book is about a creepy internet stalker in the 90s. That doesn't scream successful, and it is a successful book now. Okay, Law and Order. It's a show that he starred in, Mr. Goldblum, that was just mediocre. So I want you to pick a book that was just mediocre. I know it hurts me to say that anything Jeff Goldblum was in was mediocre, but it was mediocre. So, I chose The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. This is a mediocre book in my opinion. That is all I will say. Mediocre, like Law and Order. Next, and finally, maybe not finally, there's one bonus question if you want to do it. Grand Budapest. Grand Budapest is a weird trippin' movie. It's very strange. It's very twee. It's very cute. It's very not cute. So I want you to pick a book that you feel best encapsulates Grand Budapest Hotel. If you've not seen Grand Budapest Hotel, pick a book that's quirky. Pick a book that's a little twee. Pick a book that has a good soundtrack in your mind. Just pick a book that you like that's quirky and weird. So I chose Mysterious Benedict Society by Trenton Lee Stewart. This is a quirky book with children in it. And then finally, the bonus question. I want you to pick a book that you think best encapsulates Jeff Goldblum. A book that you look at it and you say, this is a Jeff Goldblum book. This is a book made for Jeff Goldblum and your heart and your mind and your spirit. So I personally don't have the book with me, but it would be a guide to North American birds. Because he's a North American bird. He can fly like an eagle. He can sing like a singing bird. He can do everything because he's Jeff Goldblum. Alright, I would like to tag Sarah from Sarah Actually Reads. I'd like to tag Emily from Emily Jean. I'd also like to tag anybody else who wants to do this tag. Everyone should do this tag because this tag is really stupid and really fun. So have a wonderful day. May Jeff Goldblum be in your heart and your mind and your spirit.